Welcome to Ed Cycles. I'm your host, Ed. In this video, I'm taking a look at the Florida coast-to-coast route and some common navigation questions and issues that people have. Some places where they might go off track for a little bit, and I'm hoping to clear up any confusion so that you'll recognize these areas when you get to them on your route. I'm starting today in this video at the east end, which is where the East Central Regional Rail Trail ends east of Titusville. And I'll be going west to the Withlacoochee State Trail. If you decide you want to start at the ocean, that's also possible. It's about 10 miles further east, and you'd be cycling along the roadway, and you get to Playalinda Beach, where you would go up and over the sand dune and get to the actual water itself. So it's about 10 miles to get to this point and then continue on. If you're wanting to go the opposite way from west to east, look for my companion video that does just that. Either way, I hope you would get out there and enjoy this wonderful route across urban, suburban, and rural Florida. It's a great day for a bike ride. If you decide to start at the Atlantic Ocean, it's 10.6 miles along the beach road to get to the start of the East Central Regional Rail Trail. Be aware of the time limitations that bicycles are allowed on this roadway. This applies to the western 6 miles, which is from the NASA employee entrance to the start of the ECRRT. Also be aware of the entrance fees for the Canaveral National Seashore. After a quick tire dip in the ocean, it's up and over the sand dunes on the ramps that were built for this purpose. I'll show you this roadway from the comfort of my vehicle. .7 miles will get you to the entrance station as you exit Canaveral National Seashore. Another 0.8 of a mile will get you to the turnoff for the employee entrance at NASA and the start of the bicycle restriction times. It's all NASA property to the left, and here is the turnoff that would take you into the NASA property. Another 6.1 miles will get you to the start of the East Central Regional Rail Trail. This first section of the East Central Regional Rail Trail goes to Maytown and is a length of 18.8 miles. The rail trail is on the right here and runs parallel to the road. Here's the crossing over to the left side. Officially, the trail is on the left side here. You can go on either side, but this trail is on the left as well, so you may as well cross over. Goes through downtown Titusville, over the railroad tracks. The bike lane through downtown ends, so you're kind of on your own here, but just go straight ahead for not more than a couple of blocks on these local side streets until you get to Canaveral, I think it's Avenue, and you turn right and go down one short block where you'll find the asphalt bike trail. I highly recommend you watch the video Ed Cycles ECRRT Maytown to Titusville. This will give you all the details on the trailheads and the facilities at each one, and navigation as far as the map going through downtown Titusville and what to look out for. It'll also show you where the Mims United Methodist Church is at and the Buddhist temple up further along the trail. Keep in mind that this video was recorded going the opposite direction, going eastbound instead of westbound. About 4/10 of a mile past the Maytown trailhead, you may notice this split in the trail to my left, to your right as you're going north on the, you're going westbound. There's a trail split. Now this is also a branch of the East Coast Regional Rail Trail. And if you were to come from New Smyrna Beach, instead of starting at Titusville, this is where you would connect to the common trail right here, the common portion of the East Central Regional Rail Trail. If you begin your ride in New Smyrna Beach, you'll go about 4.6 miles on local roads and then 17.1 miles on the rail trail to get to Maytown. For details on the local route that I used from New Smyrna Beach to get to the rail trail, and then the details along the rail trail with all the trailheads and facilities that are available and any points of interest, look for the video Ed Cycles ECRRT Maytown to New Smyrna Beach. Keep in mind that this video was recorded going the opposite way, going from Maytown to New Smyrna Beach. This video also shows the downtown New Smyrna Beach Historic District. If you decide to start the coast-to-coast route at New Smyrna Beach, you'll be on the East Central Regional Rail Trail, the leg that comes from New Smyrna Beach. At this point is where it joins the part of the trail that comes from Titusville, and then going west, you'll be on the common route here on the East Central Regional Rail Trail. This is about 4/10 of a mile north of the Maytown trailhead. So if you needed to use the trailhead, turn left here, 4/10 of a mile to get to that trailhead, and then turn around and come back this way. I'm going to now show you an overview of the section of this route from Maytown to the Orlando Gap, and I'll show you each trail that's involved. First, the East Central Regional Rail Trail for 18.1 miles to Green Springs. From there, you'll be on the Spring to Spring Trail for 7.5 miles to the St. Johns River, then the Cross Seminole Trail for 5.3 miles, then across Interstate 4 on a spur trail for 7/10 of a mile, and finally the Seminole Wekiva Trail for 12.3 miles, and this will bring you to the Orlando Gap. Breaking it down further, let's start with the first section on the East Central Regional Rail Trail for 18.1 miles between the Maytown Split and Green Springs. This is a very straightforward trail. I see no chance of getting lost on this trail, making a wrong turn. So I'm going to refer you to my video, Ed Cycles ECRRT, Green Springs to Maytown, so you can see any details needed on the trailheads and points of interest. The trailheads, I'll show you what's available as far as the facilities and the bike repair stations and water fountains and so forth. And it's also in this section that you'll see the Tin Man, hopefully, if you know where to look. This is where the East Central Regional Rail Trail becomes the Spring to Spring Trail, right here at the trail entrance to Green Springs Park. If you want to see the park, you turn left here, and there's restrooms and water fountains, as well as the resident alligator at the Green Spring. Otherwise, just keep on going straight through. You won't even notice any change. This first section of the Spring to Spring Trail is 4.6 miles long and will get you to the trail split. This is the vehicle exit from Gemini Springs Park, so I'm going to go up a little bit further to the entrance. I'm going to divert from the trail here for just a minute and go into Gemini Springs Park. Gemini Springs is a Volusia County park, and it does have camping facilities. There are 10 primitive camping spots on the grounds. You can make reservations online, however, you cannot get free camping online. The free camping is available only for cyclists using the trail and is available only when you call the number below and tell them you're a cyclist. The free camping spot is up here on the left in this area. There is only one free campsite available, and it is campsite number 1, this one here on the left. You can see the boxing area for pitching a tent, and there's also a fire pit and a grill available. There are restrooms nearby, but no other facilities at the campground itself, like water or electric outlets. This is the view from the campsite looking out at the rest of the campground. Continuing west on the trail in a very short distance, we come to the Spring to Spring Trail split. Be aware that the trail splits here, and you want to continue around and go to the left. If you go straight ahead over this way, this is the segment of the Spring to Spring Trail that goes up to Blue Springs State Park and Lake Beresford Park. To continue on the Coast to Coast route, you want to go this way, continue around this trail split, this little circle, and go to the left to go down to Lake Monroe and continue on the route. Before you leave this location, you may want to take a minute and look around and marvel at all the trail signs at this one particular location. I have no idea why there's so many right here. There's even one sign about the other signs. Continuing on the Spring to Spring Trail, it's another 3 miles to get down to the St. Johns River. Before the St. Johns River and shortly after this boardwalk section, you'll be at the backside of Lake Monroe Park. There is a trailhead here adjacent to the trail with permanent restrooms, water, a bicycle repair station, the usual amenities. The trail itself continues around the outside edge of the park, and then you'll go across the front entrance to the park. I'm going to go into Lake Monroe Park, same as I did for Gemini Springs Park. Lake Monroe Park is also a Volusia County park, and it also offers free camping for cyclists. Now, it does have a regular campground that accommodates RVs and camper vans and such. Campsite number 21 is designated for tent camping only, and it is free for cyclists. You can reserve spaces online, but to get the free camping, you need to call the number shown on the screen below and tell them that you're a cyclist. Campsite number 21 is grassy, and it does have a picnic table and grill and a fire pit and a water spigot and electric outlets. If you're not staying at Lake Monroe Park, continue on the trail past the main entrance and up the hill to the bridge that goes over the St. Johns River. This is the view from the apex of the bridge over the St. Johns River, and it marks the end of the Spring to Spring Trail and the beginning of the Cross Seminole Trail. The coast-to-coast route now goes on to the Cross Seminole Trail for 5.3 miles. It's a very busy section, so I'm going to break it down further. The first section will be 0.6 of a mile from the middle of the St. Johns River to where we turn right and go across West Seminole Boulevard. There are two Interstate 4 off-ramps here with all traffic coming from the left only, and as soon as you get over on the other side is where you're going to turn to the right. Shortly after coming down the bridge that crosses over St. Johns River, you're going to cross under Interstate 4, first the westbound lanes, then the eastbound lanes, then you're going to cross under the ramp, which loops around and comes out right here to this light at West Seminole Boulevard. To stay on the coast-to-coast route, you want to immediately turn right after crossing over the off-bound ramp. A lot of people make a mistake and go straight ahead. Now, going straight ahead is the Sanford Riverwalk Trail. It takes you along beautiful Lake Monroe. It takes about 3 miles, and you'll get into downtown Sanford if you desire to go there. A lot of restaurants and things to do there. Otherwise, to stay on the coast-to-coast route, turn immediately right and go parallel to Monroe Road. Video of the Sanford Riverwalk Trail is available on Ed Cycles Lake Monroe Loop. The first 2 minutes show the Riverwalk. Minutes 2 through 13 show additional footage applicable to the coast-to-coast route, but be aware it's going in the opposite direction. So the video starts in Sanford and goes on up to Osteen and then loops the rest of the way around Lake Monroe. It does show details on points of interest along the way, such as the Sunrail to Berry Station, the Gemini Springs Park, Lake Monroe Park, Green Springs Park, all the trailheads and facilities. After crossing West Seminole Boulevard, go 0.3 of a mile until the trail crosses Monroe Road to the right. Go across Monroe Road, turn left, and follow the trail for 1.2 miles down to State Road 46. At State Road 46, the trail turns to the right, goes for 0.5 mile before you need to turn left and go across State Road 46. From State Road 46, it's 2.7 miles on the Cross Seminole Trail until you get to the trail that goes across Interstate 4. The area along Monroe Road behind us is a light industrial area, and there's many crossroads, but it doesn't have as much traffic as this section along Reinhardt. Reinhardt has many retail businesses, such as the Walmart that's here on the left and the Best Buy a little further down. And there's many cross streets with lots of traffic. This green and white striping was added to the crossings here about a year ago or within the past year. It makes it easier to follow the trail. This is a major vehicle intersection here. County Road 46A, known locally as H.E. Thomas Jr. Parkway. Be very careful crossing this roadway. Here's another turn that could be easy to miss. I'm on the Seminole Trail. Shortly after crossing over H.E. Thomas Jr. Parkway is where you're going to want to turn to the right, go across Reinhardt Road to continue on the coast-to-coast route. This is just behind me here at this light. Look for the sign that says Postal Distribution Center. That's where you turn. You'll see the crosswalk stripes on the roadway, and there is a crossing signal button there to help you get across. Go across Reinhardt Road, and it's 7/10 of a mile on the spur trail from the Seminole Trail to get across Interstate 4, where you'll join the Seminole Wekiva Trail. The Postal Distribution Center property is to the right, and I appreciate this trail that connects the two major trails, the Seminole Trail and the Seminole Wekiva Trail, and it provides such a nice quiet respite, until you get to the traffic over Interstate 4, but it's a safe passage over Interstate 4 is my point, and here we are here going across Interstate 4 and down the other side where we'll turn left onto the Seminole Wekiva Trail. After going over this short connector trail over the Interstate 4, you're going to get to the Seminole Wekiva Trail, turn left, and continue on the route. The coast-to-coast route continues for 12.3 miles on the Seminole Wekiva Trail until you get to the Orlando Gap. The Seminole Wekiva Trail is very straightforward, no need for special directions here, but if you want to see what the trail looks like and see the details on the trailhead locations and facilities and points of interest along the way, watch Ed Cycle's Seminole Wekiva Trail. For the part of this video that's applicable to the coast-to-coast trail, start at minute 13. Technically, the Seminole Wekiva Trail ends just before Maitland Boulevard, right here under the power lines. Another 400 feet down will get you right up to Maitland Boulevard or State Road 414. When you get to Maitland Boulevard, if you look to the right, you'll see what appears to be a bike trail, and it is a bike trail, but I suggest don't blindly follow it because you may not like where it goes. It goes about 7/10 of a mile and ends at Orange Blossom Trail or US 441, which is a very highly trafficked road. I don't like it personally. If you go straight across Maitland Boulevard, you go down Rose Avenue, it's less busy, the speed limits are lower, and there is a sidewalk that you can utilize, but no bike lane. I highly recommend that you watch the video Ed Cycles Orlando Gap to see what your options are here. I show 11 different options in that video, so you can decide which one that you're comfortable with and fits your needs the best to get through the Orlando Gap. Now I'll continue this video on the other side of the Orlando Gap where it meets the West Orange Trail. This is some footage from the Ed Cycles Orlando Gap video. It's about 3.4 miles straight line distance between the Seminole Wekiva Trail and the West Orange Trail. In this video I show 11 different routes that I either
I either cycle or I ride in my vehicle to show you the routes, to show you the traffic counts, the posted speed limits, any other pertinent information that I think is important to know when making the choice. Everyone has different comfort zone with dealing with traffic and so forth, so recommend that you watch this and decide which of these 11 routes is best for you.
After navigating the Orlando Gap, you'll arrive at the West Orange Trail at this location. To continue on the route, you'll turn left here. Note that just to the right, and right adjacent to me here, is a trailhead with a porta potty and water. And a little bit further up on the West Orange Trail, not far, is Clarcona Horse Park, where tent camping is available if you need it. If you just want to continue on the trail, then this is where you turn left and you'll be on the West Orange Trail.
Nestled between the Orlando Gap Spur Trail and the Buddhist Temple, the Apopka Vineland Outpost features a picnic shelter and porta potty in addition to vehicle parking. For vehicles, it is accessible from Apopka Vineland Road. A mere 3/10 of a mile further along is the spur trail that goes up to Clarcona Horse Park.
I'm going to go on the spur trail straight ahead to go up to Clarcona Horsemen's Park. I think it's about 9/10 of a mile to get up to the park.
The Clarcona Horsemen's Park is an Orange County park that is specifically designed and set up as a haven for horse owners and features show rings with bleacher seating, judging towers, and horse stalls. There are several horse trails through the surrounding wooded area and includes the trail to the nearby horse-friendly West Orange Trail. The on-site campground has facilities for both RV camping and for tent camping. For those of you riding the Florida coast-to-coast route, take note, as this campground will accommodate tent campers, and it's a mere 1.2 miles or so from where that spur trail branches off from the West Orange Trail. Where the spur trail ends at the park, you'll see the campground to your right, but you can't get there directly at that point. There's an exit-only gate there, so you'll need to go to the left and then right along Damon Road to get to the main entrance of the park, and turn right in there and follow the road around to the park office. I've been told that spaces 18 and 19 are for tent camping, and here's what they look like. And there's permanent restroom and shower facilities here. The Coast to Coast Trail continues west on the West Orange Trail for 13.6 miles till it ends at the Orange County line, and then transitions smoothly onto the South Lake Trail for 12.7 miles to the State Road 50 gap. My video on the West Orange Trail shows all the points of interest, including the trailheads and the facilities there, along with other points of interest such as the Oakland Nature Preserve on Lake Apopka, a butterfly garden adjacent to the trail, downtown Winter Garden, including the Plant Street Market and the Farmers Market that takes place on Saturdays. Also visit the local railroad museum. The trail runs right through downtown Winter Garden. It's a must stop and must see on the trail. That video was recorded going the opposite way, and the part that's applicable to the Coast to Coast Trail is from the beginning to minute 29. My video on the South Lake Trail was recorded in the direction we're headed today, and includes all the usual information on the trailheads, and visits the Citrus Tower, downtown Claremont, and including the Claremont Historic Village shown here. Other points of interest like the murals and the beautiful lakefront Lake Mineola.
After 12.7 miles on the South Lake Trail, it ends directly behind me here, 100 feet or so, in a cul-de-sac. This crossroad directly behind me is Silver Eagle, what's it called? Silver Eagle Road. This is where you exit the South Lake Trail and get onto County Road 565A. It's a very short distance to get down to State Road 50. Now the Coast to Coast Trail, when they do finish building this gap, it will be a bike trail within the State Road 50 right-of-way. That's several years out. There is a bike lane along State Road 50 in both directions, and I'm going to show you that now. It goes for about 17 miles presently, the gap.
Welcome to the State Road 50 Gap. It's about 16.7 miles and ends at the bike path that is at County Road 751. County Road 565A is moderately busy. There is a sidewalk, if you prefer, on the left-hand side here. Turn here onto Eagle Crossing and go for about 3/10 of a mile to get down to State Road 50. You can see the bike lane here, and it goes for 1.5 miles up to State Road 33, and then there's no bike lane for about 2.6 miles. This is called the State Road 50 Gap because there is no bike trail through here. There are plans, however, to put a bike trail through here within the State Road 50 right-of-way, and that will happen as roadway improvements are done throughout this entire gap length, but that's several years off. That'll be happening over the next several years, maybe into the 2030s before it's all completed. Yes, there are alternate routes to get through the State Road 50 Gap, and in fact I have a video on one of them. Most of you are probably aware. It is just one of many routes that are available. Now the route that I chose is on all paved roads. There are country roads with low traffic volume. Many people like to go through the green swamp, and I've never ridden that personally. I understand it's got about 2.5 miles of very sandy soils, so kind of tough going. I think most times of the year you have to walk the bike through there, but again, I don't know. I've never ridden it. If you're interested in seeing my suggested alternate route to avoiding the traffic on State Road 50, look for my video, Ed Cycles SR 50 Gap. Now we can cycle on the State Road 50 trail for 11.3 miles to make it to the Withlacoochee State Trail on the other side of Ridge Manor. This is where County Road 478A joins State Road 50. And I point that out because my video for an alternate route through the gap, the west end of it is right here. It ends up on County Road 478A and allows you to access the State Road 50 trail at that point. This Ridge Manor campground is a 55 plus community. I don't know if it's available for cyclists for tent camping. And there's the Withlacoochee State Trail bridge just up ahead. Cross under the bridge and immediately turn left on a pathway, it is paved, that goes up to get you onto the Withlacoochee State Trail. This path is about 600 feet long.
This trail that just came up joins the State Road 50 trail to the Withlacoochee Trail. Looks like it could use some maintenance, but it is passable. It is paved. I had no problems getting up here. Once you get up to the top here, up to the Withlacoochee, turn left to continue on the great Florida Coast to Coast Trail. It goes through some urban, suburban, and rural areas, and it's a fantastic trek. It's a great day for a bike ride.